We think it's so fun to learn where you are joining from. So please feel free to comment in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. My name is Catherine and I am with Michaels, and we are so thrilled to have you all here and really sharing your time with us. We're so excited to help you all keep making, because that is what we are all about. So again, oh, look, we got people from Branson and Raleigh, Texas. Thanks. Gotta love Texas. We hope you are so excited for this class today. We're so excited to bring you this class. And if you joined us last week, welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We are so excited. You know, don't worry if you're taking notes or if you're working along with us, this will be recorded. We'll make sure that this gets shared out with everyone. We're going to give everyone a couple of minutes to kind of join in and get settled. Oh, Maryland, Georgia. Hey guys, feel free to wave to us. We definitely keep y'all muted just because the background noise can sometimes affect things. But if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to chat everyone in the chat. We will make sure that we're watching that and we will answer them live. We'll answer you back in the chat. So if you have any questions, any comments, we love to hear from you. Please add those in. And just while everyone's still kind of joining and we're gonna give everyone a couple of minutes, please know that with Michaels, we are offering these online virtual classes every day of the week. So please go check out, I've made a little sign, michaels.com/online classes. We've got lots of really fun different classes that you can sign up for. Again, we are just so thrilled to have you joining us. We're so thrilled to be able to help you keep making during this crazy time. And you know, these virtual classes, not everything's gonna go perfectly, so bear with us just in case, you know, you might have some technical difficulties here or there, but again, we're so thrilled, we're so excited. Oh, we got people from Alabama, New York. Glad, we love seeing you from all over. We're so excited to have you here. And with that said, I am gonna kick it over to two of my very favorite makers, Joy McDonnell and Jenny Smith from Cricut. So take it away, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, I love seeing all these faces and waves, and it looks like Gwen has a beautiful beach background, which is making me want to go on vacation right now. Like, that is awesome. Welcome everybody to our second community classroom with Cricut and Michaels online. We just want to give a big shout out to the Michaels team that have been working exhaustively. Is that a word? Yeah, they've been working hard, like putting all this together, making sure that we've had the opportunity to engage with you. This is so much more fun than, and I don't want to speak for Joy, but it's so much more fun for me to see your faces and for us to be able to engage and answer questions and let you ask questions. This is such a great format for us to greet each other as a community and support each other. And I'm sure that whatever questions you have, somebody else most likely will have the same questions. So don't hesitate to type in the chat whatever your questions are throughout this project that we're doing today with the awesome Cricut Maker. Catherine is going to kind of be there to like make sure we don't miss any questions. We're going to answer as much as we can in the short period of time that we have. And Joy is going to take it away with what we're going to do today.
So, hi everybody, and like Jenny said, we are so excited to see everybody's faces and to be able to share some great ideas and inspiration. And today we are going to be working on embellishing face masks. And I have to say, at Cricut, we have a pattern that's available on our design space for face masks. And we have, to date, since we put up the pattern, we have had over 130,000 people using the pattern, which is amazing. So if you guys are part of that group using the pattern, we applaud you. And as of right now, we have 937,438 masks that have been made. So that's just absolutely amazing. We want to hear people's stories and hear about who you're making masks for, because there's all different types of people. whether it's for your local healthcare provider, your hospital, for your family, to keep people safe. We are showing ideas for how to embellish the face mask. So today, we thought we'd do a super cute one with just a little face on the front and a little special message on the inside. And after we show you how to make this one, we have lots of other ones to show you, so lots of good ideas. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be using the Maker. Our supplies are the Maker Design Space. We're using the EasyPress Mini, which is just the cutest, tiniest thing. Wait till you see it. And Jenny and I are going to share back and forth different places where we're cutting. Jenny's going to be cutting fabric, and I'm going to be cutting vinyl. But Jenny, why don't you tell them all about the Maker and get us started with the project?
Sure. So the most exciting part about this Cricut Maker machine, well, there's a lot of exciting parts, but the biggest opportunity you have with the Cricut Maker that is very unique is the pound per pressure of force that this machine can cut. So you have now expanded your material options that you can cut, including fabric. The Cricut Maker has an adaptive tool system, which is great because that means you can use different types of blades that will cut different materials in different ways. That is very unique to the Maker. So like Joy mentioned, we're really going to focus today on the Cricut Maker machine. We're going to cut fabric, and we're going to show you how simple that is by a Make It Now project that you can find in Design Space. It's very simple, so I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see.
This is when you have the technicalities of it. So we test our crafting skills, our product knowledge.
Yes. So welcome to the beautiful Design Space. Every project in here is completely inspiring and makes you want to do all of the things. But today we're going to do the face mask that we talked about earlier, that we've had almost 1 million, not quite, 937,000 of these cut by our Cricut community of makers, which includes you guys, and thank you so much. So I'm just gonna choose this small adult face mask right here. This lies in the area of Design Space called Projects. So I'm just going to give that a click. It gives me just a really short description, some information I might need to know, materials that I need, and everything else that would help me to get this project completed, including a step-by-step guide. So what we're going to do today, yeah.
Quick question, it's this, if you have Design Space access, are these free to use, these templates?
Yeah, so depending on your subscription, you will have an A that shows all access. Now on the face mask specifically, Cricut has gracefully provided this for free for everyone, so they are able to use this.
That is awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so I've clicked on my small adult face mask. As you may have noticed in the project section, there are several different options in size. So we're going to do this one today. I'm just going to literally click the Make It button. And now you can see that pattern has been projected here onto my Cricut mat. This is the mat that you feed into the machine with the material on top of it. So in our case, we'll be using a pink fabric mat by Cricut, as well as some fabric by Riley Blake. So I'm going to, let's see. Hold on guys, I gotta move my chat so I can. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Continue. There we go. Okay. Then I'm just going to choose my Cricut device. I have 2 makers here at the house. I have one downstairs and one upstairs, depending on which kid is doing what. I'm in the opposite spot. So if I have the maker out, they always want to use it. So I'm going to click this one. This is the one I have here upstairs in my little guest room / crafting room.
Classroom studio.
Yes, it's all the things. It's all the things these days, right? So it gives me an option here to browse all materials. You can see that at some point I have already chosen fabric and cotton. So if I was to click that button, it would automatically take me to the next step. But I'm going to show you how to browse your materials.
Hey, Jenny, there's a really great question.
Yeah.
If you don't have the fabric mat, can you use the standard mat, or is it best to be using the fabric mat with your Cricut?
It's always best to use the fabric mat. The adhesive that is on your fabric mat is specific to fabric, so it's not going to tear, you know, depending on how thin or how thick your fabric is, it's going to adjust accordingly. So I would always use that mat. If you're desperate, you can always try using your standard mat. We just can't guarantee what the outcome is, so I wouldn't advise you to do it. Okay, so I chose fabric, and then I'm going to scroll down here to cotton. Sorry, I keep having to move my little chat window. Done. Okay, so now it's going to connect to my Maker behind me. The Cricut Maker is actually accessible through Bluetooth, as well as a cord that comes with it in case you want to plug it directly into your device. You can use your iPhone, you can use a tablet, you can use a PC, or a desktop. It's very versatile, so you can use any of those. I'm going to get up here and walk over, and Joy's going to give you a little highlight on some of the things we'll be doing.
Yep. So what Jenny's doing right now is she's cutting the pieces that you need for your face mask. So she's cutting the, you'll need 4 pieces total, 2 for your outside fabric and 2 for your inside fabric. And on the Maker, there are 2 things that you can do. On the Maker, you can cut the fabric, and if you have an Explorer Air 2, you can use the pen and you can draw onto paper so that you can create a paper pattern to then cut from your fabric. So no matter what machine you have, you can make your project. So now Jenny's got her Maker up, and she's going to click. So what happens from Design Space, when she engaged the project, it's going to highlight the arrow buttons that are going to tell her she can go ahead and load the fabric mat. So she's got the fabric on the mat, and you can load that right in. Now, the one thing that you do want to pay attention to is that your fabric is straight on the mat. You want it to be on grain. So you don't want to kind of make it crookedy or anything. You want it to be straight on there, and get it as smooth as you can. But the Maker has a rotary blade, so it's going to roll as it cuts instead of a knife blade, which is a different type of blade. So this blade Jenny's showing us is a rotary blade, and it will cut like a rotary cutter cuts. So it's a very smooth cut, and it can go into a lot of really intricate kind of detail for you. Okay, Jenny.
Is the rotary blade really the only blade you should be using to cut this?
Yes, I would say the rotary blade and the fabric mat are the 2 teams that you need to have. In this pattern, we also have lines for making seam allowance marks. So Jenny just put in the fabric marker into the A cartridge. There's a B cartridge, which we like to say is for the blade, and the A cartridge, which is for your pen. So now that she's got both things loaded, the rotary blade, and there's a special compartment underneath where Jenny's all organized with all of her stuff down there. And that's where you can keep your extra blades too. So now she's going to position the mat and press that arrow button. And what that's going to do is take in the mat, and the Cricut machine is going to start to move to say, all right, I'm ready to cut. So then she's going to get a button. It's the little Cricut button, and she can press that. And that will start cutting her face mask. Now that rotary blade is going to move around and make that cutting, and you don't have to take anything out or change anything. The pen will also draw. So actually it goes the other way. It draws first, it draws your seam allowance first, then it will go in and cut. So you can, so you get all your marks and everything.
So we have a couple questions, Joy and Jenny. Can you use the Explorer 2 to cut fabric? And also, when should you use the fabric bond blade?
Okay, great question. If you're using the Explore Air 2, you do need to use bonding on the back of the fabric. That can be an interface that you get at the fabric store. You'll put that bonding onto the back, and what that does is makes the fabric a little bit stronger. And then you'll use the bonded fabric blade, and it's a pink housing with its blade inside. And then you can do that on the Explore Air 2. You can also put the pen into the Explore Air 2 and draw patterns, which is actually what I have done. So I have a series of patterns that I just made on cardstock. So if I have just a little scrap or something, I can grab that and cut from there using my Cricut rotary blade and that. Okay, Jenny.
Can you cut more than one layer at once? Like, could you load 4 layers of fabric or just one at a time?
Just one at a time works the best. Fabric tends to move around and squish, so it's better if you do one at a time. That way you'll get it exactly right. And Jenny, you got it? There she goes. So there's,
oops. Let's see. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
So the machine finished cutting, and you can see I'm just literally pulling off the excess fabric from my mat, and it has cut out the design of the pattern for the mask here, as well as given me the draw lines. So we're able to complete the project following directions step by step.
and we are going to focus a little bit more on embellishing today. If you need to see the step-by-step instructions for how to make the face mask, there is a video on our Cricut.com, or sorry, YouTube for Cricut. And if you go there, you'll see the whole video, step-by-step, how to make everything. So like Jenny, I have 2 pieces already cut, and I'm going to show you how to embellish that front with a little oval and then a nose to make a face. I am using the iron-on mesh so that it doesn't really affect the breathability of the mask. So I'm going to go ahead.
There's another really great question, because when you're cutting so many different materials, vinyl, iron-on, it's right side up, upside down. So with the fabric, what is the best way to place it? Is it right side up with the pretty pattern facing, or down?
You know, the best, if you're going to have any markings from your fabric, if you're using fabric markers and it's going to mark seam allowances, the best way is to use the fabric right side down to the mat so that the wrong side is facing up and your fabric marker is drawing on the wrong side of your fabric. Otherwise, if you're not using any markings, you're okay. Either way, the only difference might be if the pattern piece calls for you to place your fabric right side down, because the shape of the piece has to be the right way to construct your sewing project.
And Joy, just to jump in, if you're using the Cricut fabric pen, it will actually wash off once you've completed your project, and then you wash it.
Right. Okay, so I have another, I'm sharing my screen, and we're back in Design Space, and I've made a little, this is public, so you guys can find this if you want. It's called, my name's Joy, so it's Joy Face Mask Faces is the name of the actual file. You can find this in Design Space. And on the side, I've picked out several different faces that I could use, but I wanted this particular nose and mouth for my design. So, but I didn't want to have the eyes and everything else cut. So I went down here to this little button down here at the bottom that's called Contour. And when you click on that, the different shapes come up. And I can then say, well, I don't want the eyes and I don't want the eyebrow. I just want this nose. And then I just go ahead and close that. And now only the nose is there from the design. So that's just a little trick. I also did a little adjusting of the size to fit the nose on top of the oval that I chose. So I just got an oval from Shapes. And when the shape comes out, it's a circle. So you have to click on the unlock button that's right there in the 4 squares You click that, and then you can pull out your shape to whatever you'd like it to be, to any kind of an oval shape. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and hide this little face because I just wanna cut these two pieces. Now, one thing that I'm gonna do is I want to cut the nose and the mouth from the Everyday Iron-On Mesh, which has like little holes in it. And I'm also using Sport Flex for the nose. And I think it's easier to cut both things at once and put my material onto my mat. So I'm gonna share my screen in a little different way here. I'm going to share what's on my desktop with you.
So what's great about the Cricut Iron-On Sports Flex material is that unique iron-on material was made so it could stretch. So moving across seams, for example, or even on a dry fit type product, like an athletic product, it's got a little bit more give, a little bit more stretch than the everyday iron-on.
Right. So this is our Sport Flex in the black, and then the Everyday Mesh iron-on here. Now I'm using a light grip mat, and I've already got my two pieces ready to go. I'll take the cover off. I've got this ready to cut. And I wanted to just cut both pieces from one turn going around on the machine. I don't want to have to put it through a couple of times. So let me go back to my design space real quick so that you can see what I mean by that. If I left this as a white item and I had the nose black, when I went to make it, Design Space would separate these two out into separate mats. But I just wanted to cut on one. So I'm gonna cancel that and just go make sure that both of my shapes are the same color. And then that way when I hit make it, oh, what happened? Here I am being all fancy. Is he turned off? No, he should see. Okay, so when I hit make it, they should both be here. Oh, he's still on a separate mat. You guys see, this is when this snafu happens by mistake.
That's right.
So what we'll do is just, I'm gonna turn them both to the same pink color and see if they don't end up on the same mat for me. But see, this is real life. This is how it happens. Sometimes you test things and you're like, that didn't work, and then you have to do something and then it works. So since they were both pink, they ended up on the same mat. And I'm going to just scooch this over a little bit because I know that my piece of Sport Flex is a 2x2 piece, and then I have my white mesh all ready to go. So I can hit continue. And like Jenny said, now this one I have hooked up through USB, so you can see it's the Maker through the USB. And I'm using two different materials, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go down to my iron-on. And I'm gonna hit Everyday Iron-On because it's the thicker of the two. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit more pressure so that it will cut through both of these pieces. Then now I'm going to go back over to my actual machine. So we're just gonna do another share real quick and go back to the machine and show you how it cuts. So they are in position. My machine light is blinking. So I'm just gonna take this and get that to load. And then my little Cricut button's gonna light up. So now I can cut, and I'm cutting that oval and the little dog nose.
So Joy, while that's cutting, a question came through. Why don't you always have the choice to contour? Or do you always have the choice to contour?
Oh no. Do you, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Why don't you always have the choice to contour, or do you always have the choice to contour?
You always have the choice to contour. You just, sorry, I think I have this on my mat a little too long, so I'm gonna switch this switch these spots and start this over again. Did you see what happened? It got like a little, it got caught up in the machine. So that
happened to me.
That little contour button is always there for you. So you can always do that. All right, now I'm gonna restart this real fast. Sorry guys, we'll leave it there. I think it'll just completely restart for me. Let's hope I'm right. I was all prepped out and had it sitting for a day overnight, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay. So are there any other questions, Catherine, or did I answer them?
Looks like that one was answered. Thank you. And then a couple people asking where this mesh can be bought. Absolutely, you can buy this in store and online at Michael's. If you have trouble finding it, feel free to reach out here. We can try and get you a link, or reach out to us on social media as well. We're happy to help you find the product that you're looking for.
Yep. So I have my oval and my little dog nose all cut. And I am going to, so I should listen to my own guidance. If you flip your mat over and lift your piece, it comes off easier. Of course, now I stuck everything else to that. So we'll get that out of the way. And now I can use my weeding tool. The mesh is a little bit, which screen do I have sharing? You guys can see my desktop, right?
We can see.
Yeah, we can see the machine and you weeding.
The mesh is a little bit tricky because you have to kind of get in between those dots, and the backer paper and the dots are all together. So I kind of just get myself a good little corner there. And then because this is an oval, I can get the whole shape around it.
So for those of you that are wondering what Joy has there in her hand, that is what we call the Cricut Weeder. And it basically just helps you to weed small areas of your vinyl, whether it's heat transfer vinyl or regular vinyl, or actually paper or anything else you might have to weed out the image. And it's a great tool. So you can find that in the basic tool set, and that's also available at Michael's.
Yep.
And it does look like what the dentists use, but it's not exact. So let's not pick our teeth with it.
We would definitely advise against that.
Right. So now one of the things that I want to do, if you were to just sew your two sides of your mask together first, and then go to apply the oval on top, the problem is that it wouldn't move with that curve of the mask. So one of the tricks that we're going to do is we are going to cut this piece in half. And I know that sometimes as a cheat, sometimes I just fold it over and give myself a little press, because I'm not always the best at math. But I think my piece was 5 inches, so my mark would be 2.5. And I didn't do this on the Cricut because I want this background to be exactly the same size, so that when I go to match it up, everything's going to match for me. So now I have a little mini EasyPress mat that is awesome, and my EasyPress is set up to the medium temperature, and I've also consulted the heat guide. Now for me, I put my heat guide on my phone. This is something you can get from Cricut.com. You can just go right to Cricut.com and use this heat guide, and what it's going to tell you is what temperature should your EasyPress be at, and then how long should you press for. So I'm going to go to the EasyPress Mini, and my material is an everyday iron-on mesh, and I am doing that on 100% cotton. So I'll hit apply, and it's going to tell me that my temperature should be the medium temperature. I'm going to do this for about 25 seconds with constant movement and light pressure, and then flip it over for 15 seconds and add some warm pressure from the other just add, and then do a warm peel, sorry. So now
Heat guide has saved my life so many times, y'all.
Right?
That heat guide is amazing. And this is what's so wonderful about Cricut is they've literally worked very hard to pair all of these products to work together, kind of like all of us are doing today, right? We're working together. So once you kind of start doing it yourself at home, all of these steps will seem much smaller. It won't seem like, oh, I got to do this, then I got to do this. It's like, oh, I'm going to check my heat guide, and that tells me exactly what to do. It's very simple, and it's just something that Cricut has done a wonderful job in making awesome tools to get us where we need to go.
Exactly. So now I have this on one side, and the reason I wanted to cut that oval in half is because I want to use the top of that transfer paper, which you may or may not be able to see. It's that backer paper, and I want to line up my oval exactly so that when it's sewn, it's all together. And I do use a piece of scrap fabric just to cover my mat, just in case there was anything that lifted over the side.
Here's a good question that's come through. Do you not have to use any type of parchment paper or anything on top of the surface before you're ironing directly onto it, or are you safe to iron onto that?
I iron right onto it. Now, I will use parchment paper a little later on because I'm going to have an exposed piece, so I'll use a piece of parchment to keep that covered. But as long as everything's covered, you should be fine just to go ahead and iron right on there.
So I have to share this. Susie commented and that she cut out the temps and then applied them to the inside of her Cricut machine so she could remember them and see them there. And I think that that is so great.
Oh, tell me again, she did what?
So she cut out the temps that you learned from the guide and applied them to her machine so that she can like easily find them, which I think is so creative. Another great way to just have fun with your machine.
So smart.
So smart. The other great thing about the Maker too is you can see in Joy's picture, there's that slot right up there on the top. That's really easy to prop your phone up in or your iPad. And that way you could have the heat guide also like opened on your iPad so you could read it at any time. So it's very convenient. It also has a USB port on the side so you can connect that and charge it as well.
One other thing, we're getting a couple questions about if you're having issues with your machine, and I just wanted to remind everyone that's watching, Cricut has an amazing customer care line that you can call in, ask literally any question. They will sit with you as long as it takes to make sure that you are getting your machine working just how you need it. So please don't hesitate to reach out to their customer care. They look forward to hearing from you, and they would love to help you with any problem that you have with your machine.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Catherine. That's good advice. So now what I've done is I've taken these two pieces, and our next step within the instructions of putting our face mask together is to place this right sides together and sew along that blue line or 1/4 of an inch seam allowance right here. And you can do that with a sewing machine or hand stitch it, but I've already got one ready to go. And I've also gone in and clipped the seams, the seam allowance, so that because this is a curve, you're gonna want this to move in a dimension. So you need to clip those seam allowances, and then I've gone ahead and pressed this one open. So my little nose is all ready to go. So now the next thing is to take the nose that we cut out and put that on top. But I learned a couple of things about doing this. And one of them was to just cut this as closely to the design as I could. And then also to come in along the little bit here and cut out, because you need your plastic to be a little bit flexible with you so that you can get the little doggy's nose to move the way you want it to move. So I'm just going to pull those out. And then I wanted something, it's hard to get the iron and everything all perfect in here to get it to work out just flat. So I went to my sewing supplies and grabbed out my pin cushion. I take all the pins out. And I'm putting that behind the nose. And that's gonna let me pull this mask a little bit open and get everything where I want it to go. And then I can position my nose, and I'm using the mouth to kind of cover up where that seam would be. And now this is where I'm going to use a little bit of parchment paper. I'm also going to check to make sure I'm straight. I think I'm straight. So now I'll put my parchment paper over. And hold on one second. Getting it all right.
So what's great about the mini EasyPress that Joy has there on the right side of the picture is that little guy, although small, he is very mighty and very, very hot. But that entire heat plate that he has, I'm calling it a he. I don't know, Joy, is it a she or a he?
Depends what project I'm working on, I think.
Right. So your little mini EasyPress, whether it's a he or she, will apply that heat evenly across the entire heat plate. So although some people have used their at-home fabric irons like you would iron your clothes with, those irons are great for ironing clothes, but when you're talking about applying a vinyl, you're going to want something that has an even amount of heat dispersed across the entire heat plate. So that's why these EasyPresses, you end up with such an awesome result with your heat transfer vinyl.
Yes, and I could not have done that with a regular iron at all. So there's our little nose. And the next step would be to then take your lining piece. And in sewing, there's a term called right sides together, and people get that confused. They think, is it the right side of something? The right side just means the pretty side of your fabric. So I put the pretty sides together, and I would use pins and pin these together all the way around. And I have one all ready to go that I've done my sewing across the top and along the edge. And now what's really important here is that you want to clip your curves. And I like to go ahead and clip out some of that extra that's in the seam. Oh, these are not my good fabric scissors. So I cut a little bit out there, and then I want to, wherever there's a curve, you want to clip. Because when you clip along, now don't clip your seam. Don't go crazy all the way in there. You just want to clip because that's going to allow your piece to turn and have that curve that you want. So I'm just going to turn it inside out. And just like that, I have the two sides together. Now this is where this little mini EasyPress is so amazingly helpful, because I can just come in and press, get this straight down here. I'm just going to press so that my fabric stays where I want it to stay. And you take a little bit more time to get everything exactly right, but you'll iron along each of those edges. And I just want to show you how I finish the capsule. You can see where I am. So you need to make a little tunnel for the elastic. And iron this last side down.
Joy, is the fabric that you're using right now just cotton fabric?
Yes, it's 100% cotton fabric. And it's made by Riley Blake. It's her design. And but this is just quilting cotton. So for this end, to make it look pretty and to give yourself a casing for your elastic, I just fold one piece in and then fold it over again and press. And then I would stitch down along this edge right here. And that's going to finish those two edges for me. So let me show you one that's finished. Let's do my finished one. Here's my little finished one. And I've stitched right down those edges. And then to put the elastic in, I use a tapestry needle. And I kind of have figured for the for a small to medium face, this is my elastic. For a small to medium face, I cut my elastic to about 12 inches. And then using the needle, I can just put that elastic right up into the casing. And then I let the person tie a little knot for where it's going to fit best on them, and then just slide that knot inside the casing. So that's how we get that all done and all cute. And you can see how easy it is to make. It's not that hard. But the best part is adding a little special note to the inside of your face masks. So this is where you get to say an I love you or a little something special. And I have one all ready to go. Oh, I want to show you another one. Today is National Superhero Day. And I think with all of our healthcare workers, they are our superheroes. And this is a Captain Marvel mask that I made. And on the inside, oh, that's not the right one. On the inside, I put superpower. For the person who puts that onto their face, they're seeing that they have a superpower, that they're helping to heal people. So I'll show you how I did the little I love you on the inside, and we'll use one of the floral masks that has white. And I just heat up the piece here. So this is just a floral mask. And I've gone ahead and cut, we'll weed it from here. Can you guys see, or do I have to move things? Now we can see. So I've already cut using my Cricut, a little piece. I'm gonna weed this out. And this is so nice. Our iron-on weeds so easily. I can just pull everything right out. And I know there's an eye over here. It's coming up.
Joy, is this cute little note something that you pre-cut?
Yep, I just went into Design Space and I pre-cut this from the Sportplex. The same way that you would set up any other design, you can just set up your text. And then I did a little heart. And I'm just gonna trim a little extra away from this heart. And if I set that down, sticky side down, then I can take my message and attach these two parts together. And then I can take the inside of my mask and leave a little message here. And again, I'm gonna use the same 26 seconds and the medium temperature. This is the EasyPress. See how cute that is in your hand? It's like the perfect size. And then I want to heat a little bit on the back. And you could put any message in. You could put the superhero message in. You could put I love you. You could put thank you. Anything that helps people understand how much you care about them or care about what they're doing.
So Joy, everybody is just loving this adorable inside message. I do too. It's so cute. Joy actually made a mask for me as well as my kiddos that I have here at home, and we wear them, and on the inside of the kids, I'm putting on the inside of their mask, don't touch your face.
That's a good message.
Just as a reminder, but this is absolutely adorable.
But I want to show you guys some other masks that we've made because I want you to kind of get an understanding of how many different types of iron-on materials that are available at Michael's, because there are so many. So this one down here is a holographic, and this is a little elephant. I think you can kind of see it better that way. And then a foil thank you coming right out of his little elephant nose. And I could add even a little note on the inside, like wash your face. And this one I thought was funny because this is our glitter iron-on, so I felt like a big kiss on the cheek was important. And that's made from the glitter iron-on. And then this is also foil iron-on, so if somebody wants to have more of a floral type theme, you can put a flower on the inside and then do a little scene on the outside with the little mushrooms and the butterfly. And then I have a student who, one of my son's friends, he's graduating from North Carolina State, and he asked for a special mask to be made. So I used the mesh, the iron-on mesh, and I was able to go out. You can purchase an SVG for all kinds of schools and logos and things, and I can upload that right into Design Space and then cut out the pieces so that he has his own special mask to wear at his graduation. And of course, on the inside, I'll probably put his name or the year or something so that he has just a very special mask to wear for his graduation and his special day. So if you're curious to see, actually, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and come back because I have, I did pull aside a whole bunch of different types of this iron-on so that you could see what it looks like in packaging. So if you're looking on the shelf, you'd be looking for something. This is a glitter iron-on. We have little sets and samplers. So these are different colors of the Sport Flex that come together. This is everyday iron-on, just everyday iron-on. Works beautifully, and you can make all kinds of beautiful projects with that. This is the foil that I had just used. That foil is so pretty. And you always know it's an iron-on because there's an iron symbol on the product. But at Michael's, they have it really well organized so that you can see all your iron-on is together. So whether you want a glitter, or you want a sampler, or you want something that's flat, or whatever you'd like, you have so many different choices.
So we have given everybody a lot of information today. We focused mainly on this project of face masks, cutting fabric using Cricut iron-on materials in a lot of different ways. And this will actually continue to live, right, Catherine, on michaels.com. So if there's anything you missed or you want to go back and review, you can actually just go to michaels.com and pull this video back up. And then we also have, obviously, Cricut.com, where there's an area for chat if you have questions, as well as a number to reach our customer care team. And you guys, they really love talking to you, especially right now. So if you have any questions, it's like dealing with a 5-star concierge. They would love to walk you through anything. I'm sure you have very specific questions pertaining to projects that you're doing at home. And we have 2 more classes coming up over the next 2 weeks. We will be featuring our newest and I think cutest machine, which is our smallest machine, but also mighty, like our mini EasyPress, the Cricut Joy. So we'll be talking about that as well as a project that goes along with that too. But anything specific that you have questions for, you can reach out to Michaels as well as Cricut, and we are here together to help you through your projects. Everything you do is so valuable. And at Michaels and Cricut, we aim to supply you with the best materials, the best tools, the best accessories, and the most inspiration that we can to keep you making and keep you happy. And we can't wait to see what you're making. So please share that with us.
Yes, and we have a little bit of extra time. If you guys have any questions now, we're happy to help to see if we can answer anything, or if you have questions about the project or about what we've made today, we're happy to help.
Everyone is just so thankful, and they loved everything that you made. Oh, a question just came in. The pattern is available on Design Space, and right now they are free, whether or not you're an Access member. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jenny and Joy. So you absolutely can get this design on Design Space. And again, as Jenny said, as Joy said, we are just so thankful that you all kind of tuned in with us today. This is such a crazy time for everyone, and we want to do everything that we can to make sure that you can keep making, keep having fun, spreading joy and kindness around. We know that this is hard for so many people, but again, we are just so thankful that you all joined us today. And like Jenny said, if you have any machine trouble or any specific Cricut questions, do not hesitate to reach out to their customer care. They are so helpful, If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Michael's or Cricut on social media. We love to hear from you. You know, if you want to reach out to our Michael's customer care service, that would be great. Joy, do you?
Yeah, I'm noticing that there's a lot of questions about the mesh, and it's available as just a mesh, and it comes in all different kinds of colors: white, black, red. I think there's even gold and silver. So for any of those sports kinds of things, actually this side is less shiny, but it's just that mesh iron-on. So it's really cool. And if you want that varsity look, like on this one, you really can get a really cool varsity look from that mesh. And I'm trying to see, there were some other questions about if you don't have a machine, you can go to, on michaels.com, they have the pattern where you can download the PDF and print that pattern out and still make your masks. And then there was another question that I thought was good. Somebody else was asking if we do beginner classes, and the class that we did last week was a beginner class. So if you want to, that's posted on michaels.com. If you want to go right there under the community classroom, you'll see that class is right there, so you could check it out. It'll take you through all the steps of using the Air 2 and how to get started in Design Space, because I know we did some advanced stuff in Design Space, but that one will go back and kind of show you that. Somebody else was asking about laundering, and depending on what type of iron-on you're putting on the outside, you want to just look at the laundering instructions for that particular material that you're using, but you do want to pre-wash your fabric before you sew with it. So make sure that when you get it home, you're putting it in the washer and the dryer, drying it as you normally would. That will get all the shrink out of it. So depending, you know, with this one, I might do more of a spot kind of wash on it, but with the ones that just have the I love you on the inside, I've washed mine over and over again, and the everyday iron on, I have no problem. You can wash them, launder them, because you do get them in your face, and if you have makeup on and everything. Even the glitter one, this would wash and do well too. So I think, and then people have been asking, is it reversible? And the way that I made it, it is not reversible. I mean, actually, I take that back. You know, to be honest, if you wanted to wear it this way one day and then turn it and wear it this way the next day, yeah, totally reversible. So it just depends how you put it together, I guess. The one with the little face on it, though, I would say is definitely this way.
Everybody knows you're smiling under there.
Yeah, you have to have your smiley eyes. Oh, my cat. This is Eugene. He's using it.
Tanya says, you ladies are awesome. Listen, this is a community effort. We could not be doing all of this without you guys. We so appreciate your time, and we appreciate everything that you are making, and we are so encouraged and inspired and humbled by all of you and your talent and your creative ideas. And we just want to make sure that, you know, the last thing we want you to do is have that awesome Cricut machine, whether it's a Cricut Joy, a Cricut Air 2, a Maker, whatever it is, take it out of the box.
Yes.
The best way for you to learn it is to play with it. And listen, you're going to love it. The more you play with it, the more you realize you're going to be able to do. And there is so much stuff that you guys can get to make the projects that you want to get. And don't forget, michaels.com, they can ship to your house. They now have a partnership with Rody where they can actually deliver, I think, Catherine, right, for a fee, which you guys, seriously, same day service. That's awesome. So anything you need, we're all here for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jenny and Joy, for teaching again today. And I know you'll mention at least two more classes coming up the next couple of weeks. If anyone is interested in taking any other classes, of course we have Cricut. We have a ton more classes every single day of the week available. If you just visit michaels.com/online classes, I made a little sign, cut with my Cricut.
All right.
Yeah, you will find a ton of really fun classes every day. Again, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We know how precious your time is, and we are here to do everything that we can possibly do to make sure that you can keep making. Please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us, social media, customer service. I'm sure you can hunt us down somehow. We love to talk with you, to help you in any way that we can. And we are just so thankful that you took your time to join us today. So I hope everyone has a fantastic day, a fantastic rest of the week. And like I said, keep signing up for classes. We look forward to seeing you.
Next week
See you next week.
doing cards. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.